Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Today's yoga journey is about using props. Props are great for practicing a new asana or ensuring proper alignment when diving deeper into a posture. They can also be used for assisting with a variation or modification because of an injury. We will be using 2 blocks and a strap throughout the flow to strengthen and stretch our upper and lower body, in addition to a few balance challenges. So let's get started. We're going to begin in child's pose, feet together, knees apart. If you have 2 blocks, you can place them out in front of you on your mat, a little ways apart, a little wider than your shoulders. And then we're just going to walk the hands. Now, option 1, just walk the hands out in front of you. Melt your belly between your thighs. Another option is to place your hands on those blocks and melt down. And maybe let your forehead go to the mat. Now, another option, if you only have 1 block, then you would just have your arms out and maybe have your forehead on your block and then just rock your head across. If you don't have a block, that's okay. Again, lots of options. Maybe just bring your forehead to the mat and rock the head side to side. Massage out that forehead, that third eye. And then find your center. Let the breath go out the mouth. Feel the shoulders starting to relax. Feel the lengthening of the spine. Feel the hips starting to relax a little more as you melt deeper to the floor. One more breath. We're slowly going to come up from the floor. Hands are still on those blocks. If not, they're just out in front of you. And then shift yourself all the way up to tabletop. And maybe draw the blocks in a little closer so your hands are on the blocks. And again, if no blocks, just have your hands on the floor. And then cat-cow, round your back, tuck your chin, press the tops of your feet into the floor with a nice exhale. And then inhale, pull the shoulders away from the ears, lift the head and the tailbone, arching the back. And then exhale, round. And then inhale, lift and open. And then exhale, round. And then inhale, lift and open. Last one, exhale, round. And inhale, lift and open. And then find that neutral spine. Now again, if you have no blocks, your hands would be on the floor, no big deal. If you have blocks, maybe set them up a little bit taller towards the front of your mat. And then we're going to bring the elbows to the blocks and the palms together. Melt the head forward, bringing the thumbs to the spine, the back of the neck. Getting a little stretch through the shoulders. If you have a blanket, you can always roll up a blanket or a big towel and pretend, and you can, or even if you just have 1 block, you can just press the hands together on 1 block. So again, lots of options. If you just have that towel or blanket, or just you want to go all the way to the floor with no block, you can always bring your elbows down and your thumbs together and palms together towards the back of the neck. So again, yoga is a practice. You figure out what works for you with what you have. And just breathe here. Try not to force anything through the shoulders. If you have one shoulder stiffer than the other. One more breath. And then we're slowly going to release the hands. Come all the way up and then flatten out those blocks again. Good. Bring them a little wider. Place the hands on those blocks. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the toes. And we're going to find our downward facing dog. And we're going to pedal out the feet. Walk your dog. And again, if you don't have blocks, well, then your hands would be on the floor. If you have one block, then maybe you're holding the outside edges of the block. Just for a little variation, it helps those heels get a little closer to the floor when you use blocks. It's a fabulous, fun tool to get deeper into your postures. Just really rock it through those feet, roll them around, shifting through the hips, massaging out the bottoms of the feet. And then find your center and soften the knees, press your belly toward your thighs. Relax your head between your arms. Spread out those fingers and then shift slowly to a plank. Whether you're on the blocks or your hands are on the floor, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Nice and strong upper body. Very slowly pull your elbows into your rib cage as you lower towards those blocks. Bring the knees to the floor and then press yourself up to the knees and the toes to a modified plank. And then press yourself up to a downward facing dog. Adjust those feet. Take a breath in. Let it out through the mouth. And then shift yourself again back to that plank. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Slowly lower, elbows in nice and tight. Knees to the floor, toes tucked. Press it up to a modified plank, keeping yourself nice and tight. Untuck the toes and then slide your hips back to your heels. So you're all curled up in a nice ball. The belly's on top of the thighs. Release your hands and reach back towards your feet. Tuck your chin and curl up into a ball. Pulling your shoulders away from the ears, holding on to your feet. And then slowly lift the upper body. Inhale the arms all the way up. And then exhale the palms forward. Good. Come to a normal tabletop and go ahead and slide those blocks. Slide just one block away and just keep one towards the front of your mat. Good. And let's do a spread out those fingers in a regular cat-cow. Round the back, tuck the chin, nice exhale. And then inhale, lift and open. Notice the difference without the blocks. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and open. One last time, exhale, round. Inhale, lift and open. And then find your neutral spine and then just drop those hips gently side to side. Side to side. And then find your neutral spine, tucking those toes. Bring those fingertips a little bit wider on the floor and then find your downward facing dog. Now, if you prefer to keep with those two blocks, you are welcome to. We're going to extend the right leg up to three-legged dog, bend the knee and stack those hips. Open it up. And then go ahead and bring your right knee to the nose. And then send that right foot back up. Open up those hips, bent knee. And then bring that right foot between the hands, close to that block. Now this is where maybe you need the block next to the foot. And again, there's different sides. It can be a little higher, it can be really high, it can be flat down, and maybe you don't need the block at all. I want you to bend and straighten that back knee. So if you feel any stress at all in the hip or the hamstring, use that block. Just use it. I'm just going to use it today just for fun, just to relax my shoulders a little more, get a little deeper into that stretch. Good. And really straighten out that back leg and pull that knee into the center line of the body. Relax your shoulders and lengthen the neck. And breathe. Feel that nice lunge. Now, option, take your right hand to your hip. Let's start to turn and twist towards that right thigh. Option to bring your right arm up or even reach it over your head towards the front. And then now reach that right hand back towards that right foot and then pivot onto the outside edge of that left foot. Sorry, your left leg's behind, right leg's front. I said it backwards. And then come all the way back to front. Slide the block forward, step back into a regular plank. Feel free to be in a modified plank on the knees. And then chaturanga. Inhale, knees on the floor, toes tucked. Gently press up to a modified plank. And then shift to a downward facing dog. Slowly opening things up. Now you're going to press your right foot into the floor, lift that left leg up. Three-legged dog, bend the knees, stack the hips. Bring your left knee now towards your nose. And then extend it back up. Bent knees, stacking those hips, shoulders level. And then bring your left foot between your hands. Now again, if that's a challenge, pull the right hand under the block. So the block is under that right hand or the next to the left foot. And just hang out here. Maybe a little bend and straighten of that right knee, warming up the body, shoulders relaxed. And then really straighten out that right leg behind you and pull that left knee towards the midline of the body. And notice the difference in the hip flexor, the hamstring. Shoulders relaxed. Now we're going to take your left hand to the left hip. I want you to twist your whole upper body to that left thigh. Option to reach your left arm overhead or way to the front of your mat, over your ear. And then take that left hand and reach it to the back of your mat towards your foot. Turn your left knee open in your left foot. Pivot onto the outside edge of that back right leg. And breathe, building strength and heat in the body. And then bring both hands back to the front. Go and slide that block straight to the middle of your mat and step back to a plank. Slowly lower chaturanga. Knees and toes stay on the floor, lifting to a modified plank, but strength. Use that core, use those arms, and then press back to a downward facing dog. Soften the knees, press into the fingertips and the palms. And then very slowly, you can walk your feet forward or you can jump or hop, but take those feet forward to a forward fold at the front of your mat. And then move those feet so you can get like 1 or 2 fist distance between your feet. Now if the floor is far away, this is where the block comes in. Again, many sides to the block. It can be tall. I want you to bend your elbows wherever your hands are if they're on the floor. If you can reach the floor and bend your elbows, great. If you want to use that block at any angle, let your elbows bend so your head can be a little heavier. And just shake your head no and yes. And breathe. Feel the lengthening in the back of the legs. Lift the toes and then let the toes melt into the floor. And then straighten out your arms. See if you can flatten your back and maybe you lift the block a little higher. You can really lengthen through the arms. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale and take a fold. Let everything go down. Bend the elbows. Soften the knees a bit. And then slowly inhale yourself all the way up to the sky. Reach those arms, palms together. Exhale, palms to heart space. Take a breath in. And then exhale to mountain. Open up the palms towards the front of the mat. Shoulders relax. Close your eyes for just a moment and feel your feet grounding into the earth. All the toes, maybe spread out the toes and then push them back onto the floor. Take a nice breath. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Look up at the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive. Reach for your block again. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. Flatten out your block. Place it about maybe between your toes. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, palms to heart space. And then open up that chest. We're going to take the left foot back for a warrior one. So step back with your left foot at a slight angle, bend into that right knee. Just open things up, draw those thumbs towards the back of your mat, biceps against those ears if you would like, or you can go wider depending. Maybe you interlace the fingers. Again, just options, and breathe. And then we're going to slowly open to warrior two. So when you step forward with your right foot, bring it closer to that block, and then relax those shoulders. Really lengthen through the spine, through the neck. Relax those shoulders, palms are down. Take a peek at your right big toe. Make sure you can see your big toe and the knee is not collapsing in towards the block, but the right knee is pulling away from that block. And breathe. Now we're going to flip our right palm up, and we're going to straighten out our right leg, and then we're going to take it back to a reverse triangle, reaching your left arm to the thigh, or you can even reach it behind your back, reaching your right arm up to the sky. Now when we come forward, we're going to keep the legs straight, keep the hand behind the back, hinge those hips to the back of the mat. We're going into a triangle towards the front. Reach that right arm as far forward as you can as your hip, so you feel that inner thigh, and then bring the hands down. So the back of the hand is on the inside of either the thigh, the shin, or you can even reach your block. So here is a great place to get that block open, higher up, or you can go a little bit lower or flat. Now, if you start to collapse forward, this is where you would bring the block higher. And then take that left arm to the sky. Again, depends on where you are with your mobility and flexibility. Really open up that heart to the sky. Feel your left shoulder pulling back and your hand will follow. Lengthen through the neck. Find your breath. Notice what's tight or maybe a little resistance going on in those areas, like say the inner thigh, the hamstring, maybe your torso or the upper body. Just take a nice deep breath in. Now we're slowly going to lift ourselves up, nice and tall. Both legs are still straight. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Good. Exhale and turn the upper body towards the front of your mat, and then exhale, forward fold towards that block, drawing your head towards your knee. And just breathe here. Again, maybe your hands don't go to the floor. Maybe they're up on the shin. This is another great place to use that block. And just breathe here. Now you're going to bend that front right knee, and we're going to pivot off the back heel, coming to that low lunge again. Now that block, you might need it, you might not. We're going to bring both shoulders on the inside of that right knee. Walk your right foot open to the side of your mat a little more, and just let that right knee fall open. Feel that nice stretch, opening up those hips, lengthening through that back knee. Now again, you might need to be on the block. Option here, if you would like to go lower, maybe you bring your forearm. Your left forearm can be way up high on the block. It can be a little lower. It can be flat. Maybe both arms on the block. And maybe you just go to the floor and bring your forehead to the block. That's another option to really lengthen and have no pressure on the neck at all, depending on where you want to go with it. And just breathe, straighten out that back leg. Let your right knee fall open more so you go to the outside edge of your right foot. And just continue breathing here. Think about the mobility, flexibility of your hips. Go ahead and bring that right foot flat, hug the knee, bringing it in towards the right shoulder. You're just mindfully pulling it in, and then place your hands on the floor of the block, lengthen. Good. Walk your right foot back to the center of the mat, straddle your hands on either side, and then bring your left foot forward to a forward fold. Again, holding on to the block, and just breathe. Feel the whoosh, the change in that left hip as you bring it forward. Make sure you have 1 or 2 fist distance between your feet. And then let's lengthen the arms and flatten the back as you half lift and breathe in, lifting the toes. Exhale, toes to the floor, head towards the knees. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Touch the fingers, exhale, palms to heart space. And then open to mountain again. Now this time we're going to take the right foot back. We're going to find our warrior one. Drawing the arms up, working on those hips, opening things up, thumbs towards the back of the mat. Move those hips if you need to. Noticing what's going on. Maybe you interlace the fingers. Again, I just give options. This is your practice. Find your ujjayi breath and the posture that calls to you, or any variation. Ujjayi breathing, the ocean sounding breath. So you breathe in through your nose, contract your throat, exhale through the nose. Feeling that right back hip opening up. So we're going to go a little further. Find your warrior two. So step further back with that right leg, lengthen through the arms. Look over those left fingertips, shoulders relaxed. Now again, look down at your left big toe. Make sure you can see it. Maybe you need to move your block on the inside of the toe because it got moved. And make sure your left knee is not collapsing in towards the block, but open to the side of your mat. So we keep things in alignment. Now we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to reach the arms all the way up, straighten both legs. Good. Exhale. The right hand to the back thigh. Reach that left arm up to the sky. Turn the palm to the back of your mat, lengthening through the front of the body. And we're breathing. No stress on the neck or the shoulders. And then you're going to start to windmill, bringing that left palm up, reaching it all the way forward. Reach, reach, reach. Shift your hips to the back of the mat, and then slide the back of your hand against the inner thigh, the shin, or maybe reaching for your block. Take your left hand, bring it behind the back, open up that shoulder. And make, again, variations. Maybe you take your right arm to the sky, reaching it up. Continue breathing, lengthening through the neck. Maybe your arms go to the floor. Maybe you need that block for support. Now we're going to slowly come back all the way up. Inhale. Flatten out those arms, straighten them out. Good. Now you're going to take that back arm. I want you to windmill it forward, coming to a nice straight leg, lengthening, bring the head towards the knee. You're still at an angle with that back leg. That right foot is still facing the side of the mat, but your left foot is to the front. And again, use that block. So you're lengthening through the back of the thigh, and you're breathing. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to pivot off of that back heel, and we're going to come back to our lunge. Nice and tall spine, like straight. So your crown of your head is reaching to the front. And then you're going to bring your left shoulder on the inside of the left knee and walk your left foot out to the edge of your mat. And again, this is where you might want your block. Maybe you're up here. That's fine. You're going to let your left knee fall open. Maybe you bring your right elbow towards the block, or you stay up tall. Again, it's up to you. Maybe you bring it forward and your elbows are on the floor and your head is on the block. Just choose your option. Let your knee fall open so you go to the outside edge of that left foot. Straighten out the right leg. Relax those shoulders. Continue breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Think about whatever, if you have any stress going on, just let it go. Find that ujjayi breathing. And then we're going to slowly release. Walk it up. Bring that foot back to the middle of your mat. And then bring your right foot forward. Find your forward fold, 1 or 2 fist distance between your feet. And just breathe here for a moment. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. Go ahead and slide your block out of the way. And this is where you're going to grab your strap. And then slowly come all the way up with your strap. Nice and tall. So depending on how long your strap is, some of you might have a long strap, might have a short strap. If you have a really long strap, you might want to fold it in half. And if you don't, that's fine. And you're going to bring it behind your back and you're going to hold nice and close. Open up that chest and just gently press the arms down towards the floor as you hold on to your strap with both hands. Good. And we're going to inhale, open that chest, and then exhale, add a forward fold. Head towards the knees, lifting those arms up. Really relax here. Lift the toes. Let the head hang heavy. Relax the toes. And then slowly come back up. Arms come down, head comes up. Pull those shoulders away from the ears and line up that chin so it's level. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. And then staying here, just lift the arms off the back of hips. Like pushing your arms straight towards the back of your mat. Still holding on to that strap. And then slowly lower your hands towards your hips. Good. We're going to release the strap to the front. And you're going to bring your strap about maybe a little bit wider. I'll turn sideways here so you can see. So a little wider than your hips. And then we're going to inhale, reach all the way up, and then slide those shoulders down into place. Soften the knees, and we're going to pull gently to your right. And see if you can use that right arm to pull that left arm towards your left ear. And now breathe. Never forcing anything. One more breath. And then we're slowly coming up. And then we're going to slide the opposite way. So now that left arm is pulling the right arm towards that right ear. Right hip is pushing to the right. One side might feel a little more restrictive than the other. That just means you're normal. And then all the way back up. And then exhale, take it to a forward fold. Reach both hands down. And just hang out here. Slowly coming all the way up. Roll it up. And bring those shoulders up, back, and down. Head comes neutral. Keep your strap in your hands. So you're towards still the front of your mat. We're going to take that left foot back to that warrior one again. This time, walk your fingertips in so your hands are about shoulder width apart, and you're reaching forward towards the front of your mat. Bend your right knee and push into that left outer edge of your left foot. Lift the arms overhead. And just breathe here. Open up that heart space. Now again, here you might need to make adjustments. We're going to bend the elbows and see if you can pull that strap or belt, whatever you have, behind your head. And just open things up. Continue breathing. Might feel the upper back working a bit. Maybe you press your head into the strap, that's okay. And then extend the arms all the way up. And then slowly bring the arms back in front. And then we're going to bring your back left foot all the way up to 90 degrees. Find your balance. Slowly lift that strap overhead. And then bring the strap back to shoulder level. Now option here, lengthening your strap. Oh, there I go, falling over. Lengthening the strap, press the strap into your foot into the strap and then straighten it out. Nice and tall, relax those shoulders. And then slowly release and place both feet on the floor. Take a nice big breath in, lengthen, and then exhale, roll all the way down, forward fold. Let your arms, everything rest. Take a breath and pause. Slowly rolling all the way back up. Nice and tall. Bring your strap back to about shoulder width apart. Take the right foot back, find your warrior one. And then lift those arms up. Right outer edge of the foot on the floor, bending into that left front knee. Opening things up. Now I want you to gently bend your elbows. Open things up again. Now it might feel completely different on this side, depending on what hip flexor is tighter. It affects you all the way up into the upper back. Continue breathing. Try not to let your head fall forward. Push it back into that strap. And then inhale the arms all the way up. Bring the arms back to shoulder level. Sliding off your back heel, find your balance. Come all the way up, balance on that left leg, bringing the right knee up to 90 degrees. Lift the arms overhead. Find your focal point out in front of you, your dristi, your non-moving focal point. Soften your gaze. Bring the arms back to shoulder level. Good. Spread the arms further out on your strap, and then press your foot into that nice short strap. And you can just pull the knee up if you want, or straighten it out. Just warming up our balance here. And then slowly bend the knee. Release the strap. Gently press the foot into the floor. Take a deep breath in, relax, and roll those shoulders down. Exhale, forward fold, strap, and head go to the floor. Now while you're down here, take your strap, and if you have a long strap, you're going to separate it back so it's long. Feet about maybe 1 fist between the feet. Slowly rise all the way up. Roll yourself up with your strap. Lower those shoulders and line up the head at the top. So on this one, we're going to utilize our strap again. So you're going to take your left foot, doing things lefty today. Left foot first. So place your foot right in the middle of that strap, the left foot. And then I want you to take your strap, and if it's in front of you, take your right foot and step in front of the strap. So basically your left foot is in the strap behind you. So you can just always step over it with the right. It's probably the easiest way to describe. You're going to ground into the right foot, and then you're going to press into the strap with your left and lengthen and forward fold to airplane or warrior 3. Press. Tighten up that strap as you press into that foot, into the strap, holding the straps nice and wide. If you want to wrap your hands and make them tighter and bring them closer to your body, you can. Lengthening a little more. Finding your dristi. And then slowly straighten up and bring that foot back to the floor. Now you're just going to switch. So step your other foot in. So your right foot is in the strap, and then step your left foot in front of it. So now your right foot is behind you. Ground into that left foot on the floor. Press into that strap as you lift up to warrior 3. Straightening out that left leg, leveling out those hips. Notice the difference on each side. If one side needs to work a little harder, just be mindful and have gratitude that we can notice that it is working. Maybe it's a little wobbly. Embrace the wobbliness. Lengthen through the neck. One more breath. And then slowly bring that foot back to the floor. And step forward. We're going to now go into one more balance posture to dancer. So option to use your strap, it's kind of fun. So the first option is to just bring the strap around your ankle. I'm starting with my left just because it's the opposite one of what we just did. Some of you might be able to hold your foot, but there's just different ways, again, to experience this posture. Holding the strap, kicking that foot back, and you might want to bring the strap higher up on the foot, keep it on the ankle. It's up to you where you go. Play around with it, and you can really kick it in. And you can bring the strap, if you have a long one, over your head and kick that foot into the strap, finding your dancer. Use a wall if you need to. And maybe you're just using your hand. That's okay to hold the foot. Maybe you walk your hands up the strap and pull it a little deeper. And then slowly lower so you don't fall into the wall. We have to be able to laugh when we're doing yoga. We're going to go to the other side. So we're going to flip and put our right foot into that strap. If you can't have fun while you're doing yoga, then what's the point, right? We need to enjoy ourselves. We have to be able to laugh with ourselves. So maybe it's on your foot, you're just pulling it up with that strap. Maybe you start to hinge at that hip. Again, each side is a little different. Maybe you pull it up a little higher. Wiggling, bending and straightening the ankle does sometimes help wiggle the strap, sometimes it doesn't. And maybe you have to adjust it with your hands. And one side is going to be very different than the other. And this is my wobbly side. Do we all have a wobbly side? Absolutely. And it can change from day to day. Find your focal point. And when you are done, take your time coming out of that strap. And go and place it on the floor for a minute. We will use it again. And let's just find the front of our mat. Feet about 1 fist distance apart, grounding into the earth. Open up in your Tadasana, your mountain. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel if your heart's beating. Feel if there's, I know your heart's beating, but feel how hard your heart is beating. And notice where the energy is flowing. If there's any tingliness, things going on in the body. Take a deep breath in. Open the eyes, look up at your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Swan dive. Bend or soften the knees. Step back to tabletop. Feet on the floor. Separate your knees, grounding into the ground to a child's pose. Lower your forehead to the floor. So this is a great way just to ground back down to the earth. After such a vigorous balance challenge, rock the forehead side to side. And then spread out those fingers, take a deep breath in. Exhale out and push yourself off the floor. Knees back into alignment, tuck your toes, find your downward facing dog. Soften those shoulders, press into those heels. Press into your left heel, lift your right leg all the way up. Find your three-legged dog. Bend that right knee and pull the right knee towards the right hand. Find your pigeon and sliding the left foot all the way back. Shifting those hips gently side to side. This again, you can sit on a block on your right hip if you need to, or a blanket, and then walk your hands forward. You don't even have to sit on anything. Again, make adjustments. Find what works for you. Melting into that right hip. Feel the left top of your knee and the left top of your foot pressing into the floor. Relax your shoulders. One more breath. And then we're going to work our way up to our fingertips by our shins, open up that chest. So another option that's a great one for the strap is just to have a little loop at the end. Now, you can bend your knee and place that strap on that left foot behind you. And again, just like we did standing, but now we're on the floor. And you're going to hold on to that strap and just bring that leg up. Again, maybe this is in your practice, maybe not. Just breathe. Nice stretch for the quad and the hip. One more breath. And then we'll slowly release. And use that strap to pull that foot all the way in front and across. You can unhook the strap then once it gets forward. Cross your left knee or left foot across your right and give it a squeeze and a nice twist towards the belly. Belly into the thigh, lengthen through the torso. Bring your left hand back as a kickstand. And just feel the belly pressing into the thigh with each breath. Lengthening through the neck. Look behind you as far as you can. Feel that nice stretch through that left hip. And then slowly unwind back towards the front. Let your left leg come behind you again. Find your tabletop. Feel free to do a full vinyasa flow. You can step back into a plank and then chaturanga, or you can go straight to your downward facing dog. It's up to you where you would like to go. But meet us in down dog. Let's all meet there. Relax the shoulders, soften the knees. This time we're going to plant that right foot into the floor, lift the left leg, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee and then gently pull that knee forward towards that left wrist. Find your pigeon on the other side. Shift those hips. And again, like I said, you can always use a block. If you're very far from the floor, use that block. It's a great tool just to get into that forward fold if you're having any hip or knee issues. And you can always take a reclining pigeon and just walk those hands forward. You can have your hands stacked and your forehead on your hands. Your head can be on the floor. Feel the top of your right knee and your right foot on the floor. Left shin and hip. And you're breathing, relaxing those shoulders. Never forcing anything. And remember, just our bodies go through different things, and every day our practice can be different. Even if you did this later today, a pigeon, it's going to feel different than it does now. It might feel different a month from now. It maybe felt different 2 months ago. Just be kind to your body. No judgment. It's doing the best it can with the tools that it has. One more breath. And then we'll be walking our hands up again, opening up that hip. And if you'd like to take the strap and bring it, and again, you can just hold the foot if you want, or you can wrap that strap. It's just kind of fun to get it on that back foot and then bring that strap up. Maybe walking the hands back, lengthening and opening things up. And breathe. One more breath. And then we'll slowly release. And bring that foot all the way around in front. Release the strap and cross that right foot over the top of the left thigh. Let's hug that right knee and lift through the spine and twist to your right. Looking over that right shoulder, feel that lovely, delicious stretch through that right hip. Feels so good. Through that glute. Feel the belly pressing into the thigh with each breath. We massage out the different organs in our torso area. One more breath. And we're slowly going to release all the way back. Go ahead and sit nice and tall. We're going to get our strap. I'm going to do one more stretch for the arms. So you're going to reach your right arm up, holding onto the strap. I'm going to turn actually so you can see backwards. Take your left arm out to the side, palm faces backwards, and then slide the back of your hand up your back, and then bend your right arm. Try to hold on to the strap, and then you walk your fingertips up that strap as close as you can get. So I'm going to have, and each arm is going to be different. And some of you might be able to reach your fingertips. Maybe you have an old shoulder injury or something going on, and it's just not there today, and that's okay. Maybe you just pull down or pull up, trying different ways to loosen. And we never want to force anything, and you don't ever want to feel any kind of what we call twinges or zingers, nerve pain. And lift as tall as you can. Think about your neck, not letting the head fall forward. Pull it back into alignment. Chin level. One more breath. And then we're slowly going to release that bottom arm. Let it come out. Bring it all the way in front and let it rest on your lap. And then tilt your right ear towards your right shoulder. So it loosens up through that left side. And then bring the head back to neutral. Let's take our strap now in our left hand and reach it behind. So you can take your right arm out, slide it behind, grab hold of the strap, and then walk them closer together. And again, some of you might be able to grab the strap. I used to be able to grab my fingers, but things have happened as I've gotten older in my shoulders, so they don't go there anymore. And that's okay. I'm not going to force anything. We all have stuff going on. And again, maybe pull down with one arm and then up, moving through it. No judgment. Just let our bodies keep working to get more mobile and stay, just feeling good. Flexibility, mobility, better quality of life. We can keep on moving. One more, lengthen through the neck, keep the shoulders somewhat down and the chin in alignment. And then we'll slowly release the right hand, bring it down around, bring it forward. Let it rest on your thigh, release that strap. Go ahead and set it to the side for a moment and drop your left ear to the left shoulder. Feel the stretch through the right side of the neck. And breathe. Now we're going to turn back if you're not facing the front of your mat already. And we're going to take that strap and we're going to place it, again, both feet pressed against the strap. And we're going to use the strap to lift ourselves up into a nice tight boat. So I want to hug those knees in as tight as I can, holding onto the strap. So it makes it a little more challenging the tighter you go. And just breathe. Squeeze those knees together. Bring those feet in close. Relax those shoulders. Then we're going to bring the knees up, about shoulder level, hip level. Not hip level, shoulder level. Nice and tall through the spine. And then maybe lengthen. Lift them up a little higher. And then very slowly keep your upper body straight and start to lower your legs towards the floor. If you start to go into your low back, then just pause. And then lower all the way to the floor. Flex your feet, lift up tall through the spine, and walk your hands forward on your strap. So separating your strap so one hand is on either one. So there's a difference between hinging through the upper and lower part. So we don't want to hinge through our back. We want to hinge all the way through those hips down below. So we're going to stay nice and tall. Pretend like there is maybe a board or a bar going all the way from the tailbone to the crown of the head. So you want to stay as tall as you can through the spine. Feel like your belly button is getting pulled towards your feet. So you're hinging all the way down through that hip instead of the waist. leaning forward. And you can walk your hands forward on that strap, flexing the feet. So maybe you can only go so far and you're holding onto the strap. That's okay. The goal is to stay as tall as you can. Some of you might be able to reach your feet or your toes, but the big thing is not to slouch, because then you're not hinging through your hips anymore and we're using our back. So you really want to stay as tall as you can. You might feel more in the calves or the hamstrings, really leaning forward towards those feet, staying tall. And again, some of you might be able to reach the feet and maybe not. That's okay. Use that strap and just stay nice and long. And just notice again, where are you feeling this? Lengthen, lengthen. Shake out the knees a little. That helps loosen things up if they're really tight through the hamstrings or the calf muscles. And then sit up nice and tall. You're going to keep the strap now around your right foot. Bring it to the outside edge of that right foot. And I want you to slightly turn towards the left and pull your left foot inside that right thigh. So your left foot is against the thigh. I want you to slide your right hand nice and tight onto that strap. Sit up as tall as you can and turn your chest toward your bent left knee. Lift your left arm up and start to lean towards your right knee. Just staying nice and tall. And breathe, lengthening, opening up that chest, feeling the stretch through the side of the body. Feels so good. Another breath. And then slowly release. Go ahead and let your strap, just let it hang right there on the side. You're going to pull your left knee up now. So the foot is flat on the floor. We're going to hold on to the left ankle with your right hand. Keep it in nice and tight. Start to lean toward your right foot now, or right thigh. Bring your left arm up and leaning into it. Flex your foot. Now, a couple options here. This is where maybe you use your strap to hold on to with your left arm. Some of you might not need it and can just reach for your toe and get a little extra side bend. And breathe. So it's a little different when your foot's flat on the floor, a little more intense, bringing that knee up. And again, maybe you're holding on to the strap. That works great too, and you can really open up that chest and feel the side of the stretch, side of the waist. Go ahead and release. Come all the way up. Fabulous job. Now we're going to hug the knees into the chest. You're still facing the front of your mat. I'm just going to turn this way so I don't turn my back on you on this one. So then straighten out the legs. Now you're going to take the strap around your left foot and then turn the body to the right and hug your right foot in towards your left inner thigh and sit up nice and tall. Rotate the upper body towards that right knee. Walk your hands down the side of that strap. Reach that right arm way overhead and then towards that left toe. Using that strap for support, just really open things up. And just breathe. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice the difference all the way down into that hip. One side might be tighter than the other. Again, never forcing anything. One more breath. And slowly release all the way back up. You can let the strap just hang out there. Bend and bend your right knee's bent. Bring it up so your right foot's flat on the floor. And place your left hand on the right ankle. So you can get a little support there. Start to hinge sideways. Both butt cheeks stay on the floor. It's easy to rock off of it. So we want to keep those glutes down. And then start to reach your right arm overhead towards your left toe. And again, maybe you grab that strap. I'm sitting on my strap. And pulling it up and over and lengthening. Some of you might be able to just grab your toe. And maybe this is your tighter side. This is my tighter side. I'm going to hold on to that strap. Just feel that nice stretch all the way up the right side of the body. Make sure you can breathe. And then slowly release. Feels so wonderful. Go ahead and straighten out both legs back to the front of the mat. You can place your strap to the side. Scoot a little bit forward, and then we're going to hug the knees into the chest and sit up again as tall as you can. Nice and tall. And then turn your head and look over the left shoulder. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears and then lift the chin slightly. And then slowly bring it back to neutral. Look over your right shoulder. Just lift the chin just barely. It's like a centimeter up. And then back to center, chin to chest. And then lift back to neutral. Okay, one last time. Grab that strap. Now hopefully the neck's a little looser. Place the strap on the feet. Straighten out those legs again. Let's find our nice tall boat pose. Lengthen through the spine. Relax the shoulders. Maybe you want to bend the knees. That's fine. And breathe. And then lower about halfway down. But keeping that spine long and strong. That core is working. If you want more challenge for the core, less holding onto the straps. The straps are still there around the feet, but you're barely holding on. Lower again. Another halfway point down. Lengthening. Now when you go to the floor, I want you to keep your feet up. Just your upper body goes to the floor. Barely holding on to that strap. So your core is having to work. And then lift those legs all the way to the sky with the straps. And just breathe. Relax the shoulders, walk them away from the ears. And then let your elbows relax all the way down to the floor. And you can hold the strap, or you don't have to. And then what we're going to do is slowly release the strap, bend the knees, place them on the floor. Go ahead and grab one block. You can grab it with your feet or your hands. We're going to take the block, and you're going to walk your feet in about hip distance apart, reach for your heels, and then lift your hips to a bridge and slide the block right under your glutes and your tailbone. So you're in a supported bridge. And then press your feet into the floor, lift off the bridge, find an unsupported, but keep the block there. Reach your arms overhead, lengthening through the spine. Slowly bring your arms back down by your hips and lower your hips back onto the block. And then we're going to press our feet up to the sky and relax the shoulders. And we're just going to hold and pause here. Feel your shoulders melting into the floor. Feel your hips completely supported by the block. This is a supported staff pose. It's a great way to finish your practice. Breathing, maybe turn your palms up. Open your heart space. Just feel those feet. Maybe feel the blood flow coming down from your feet. Close your eyes for a moment. If you don't have a block, you can roll up a towel and just stick a nice big beach towel there. It's a great release for those hips and the back. You can also just put your feet up against the wall and just let the wall support your legs. And then we're slowly going to bend the knees and lower the feet one at a time to the floor. Press up to your bridge, slide your block out from underneath you. Lower your hips all the way down to the floor. And then let's give our knees a squeeze and hug them into the chest and rock side to side. And then slowly release the feet back to the floor, palms up next to the body. Go ahead and straighten out the legs and let them fall open. Walk your shoulders away from the ears and close your eyes. So we ground into the earth for our last moment of Shavasana. And you can make your Shavasana last as long as you would like. Breathing in and out. Feeling the body, checking in from the toes up the legs, through the hips and the back, the shoulders and the arms, the back of the hands to the back of the head. Feel the connection to the earth. Feel your body energized yet relaxed, a little less stress, and a little more mobile. One more breath. Focusing on the oxygen coming in and out of the body. If you'd like, you can wiggle your toes and your fingers. You can hug your knees into your chest, or you can roll to your side, whatever works for you. And then working your way up to a nice, tall, easy seat, Zukasana. Crossing either leg in front. Feel free to sit on a block or your blanket if you'd like. I'm actually going to sit on my blocker today, since we have them here. Lengthen, bring your ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, palms down on your thighs. Go ahead and close your eyes for a moment and tune into your posture. Feel the calmness with each breath washing over your body. Reach your arms out to the side and then up. Look up at your palms as you breathe in. Exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.